Brightest blessings. I'm doing a video in response to Adnara, Adnara, and basically her question is, there's an older gentleman who is constantly witnessing to people, and she admires him for doing this because, he is older, and basically when your faith tells you that you need to witness to as many people as possible and then convert as many people as possible, she feels that he's doing a good thing since basically he doesn't have much longer on earth and he needs to do that extra push. Anyway, the problem is that she's going to a family reunion at which he will be attending. And last time she spoke with him, she was a Christian, and now she is a very strong atheist. And she wants to know what to do. She doesn't want to create strife or unrest in him. She doesn't feel it's going to do him any good if she explains why she's an atheist, and she feels that the best thing or the worst thing, maybe she's not even sure if it's a good or bad thing, is that she may get him to question and understand why she became an atheist, and therefore create some fear before he passes. And I can understand where you're coming from, but my recommendation, since you were asking for recommendations, don't hide it. Do not hide it. Come out of your atheist closet, so to speak. I'm not an atheist, as you know. However, no matter who you are, no matter what you believe, it's for a reason. It's for a damn good reason. And if it's important and good enough for you to be an atheist, well then there's no reason for you to be ashamed of it. You don't ever want to be ashamed of who you are. And if you are ashamed of who you are, then you need to think twice and change things around. But knowing you, you're not ashamed of it, and there's no reason to be ashamed of it. Now, you don't have to sit there and prance around and put it in his face and wear a big old t-shirt saying, "I am an atheist." No, you do not. And you don't need to take his core beliefs and shove them in his face. No, you don't need to do that, and you don't need to be disrespectful. But don't disrespect yourself either by denying who you are and what you believe, because that is very important. Yes, he is an older gentleman, and yes, you may not want to cause strife, but you need to inform him, look, I'm not a Christian anymore. Yes, I've read the Bible. Yes, I know about Jesus, and that's why I'm not a Christian anymore. And you can say, I really like you a lot, and I really don't want to talk about it. I don't think it's appropriate to talk about. You can do that. Now, if he still wants to push the subject, then he wants to push the subject. He's older, but he's not a moron. This society treats children and treats old people like cute little morons. And, I believe, it's a personal belief of mine, that you need to learn as much as you can in this lifetime. And hey, maybe it is up to you to teach him all he can. Teach him this part of all he can learn. Now, he can either take it or accept it. I'm sure that you've heard things that you don't accept as truth or fact. Not everything that you hear do you accept, do you? And he's not stupid. I'm sure that he can take it or leave it as he chooses. But why do we have to shelter and coddle our children? Children are wonderful little knowledge sponges. And, I know that you're not speaking of a child, but we tend to treat children and the elderly the same. Children are a lot smarter than we give them credit for, and they're a lot more resilient too. In fact, their little brains are developed, and their little brains are just built for learning. You know, a child can learn a lot more, a lot quicker than an adult human being. And as far as the elderly goes, well, shit, they've been through it all. They've been through a lot more than you'll ever know. They've been there, they've done it, and they've got quite a little thick skin on them. So don't hide it. Don't lie. Be proud of yourself. You are who you are. Do not hide who you are, because if you really need to hide who you are, then you need to change who you are. Don't flaunt it. Don't shove it in his face. Explain to him. And if he wants to know more, just say, you know what? Let's just agree to disagree and leave it at that. If he leaves it at that, I'm sure that's great. But if he demands more, then he's asking for it. You don't have to treat him rudely, and you don't have to treat him... It's not going to be unkind. Okay? That's my advice. Blessed be.